Well, welcome. I wanted to just take a quick minute because I think it's important to share experience with products and stuff like that, especially as you make recommendations or you try something new. There's always new people looking for information and for product reviews on things. We all work hard for our money and we all want our best bang for the buck. And that being said, one of the things that I bought recently I don't think is necessarily the best bang for the buck, and I wanted to share just a little bit of experience that I've had with it. One of those things is being fairly new to not fishing in general, but fly fishing. I purchased my first pair of wading boots, which were the Frogg Hellbenders. Seemed like a good price. They came in at $130. Certainly weren't premium high-end boots, but they didn't necessarily seem cheap at that point. So I figured I'd just try them out. Now I have fished a fairly decent amount in the past, really just a couple of months, but I've had plenty of boots and gear that has lasted for a really long time. This hat is 22 years old. I've got old cowboy boots, I've got old hunting boots, I've got all kinds of old hunting gear, and I don't think that fly fishing gear should really be any different. So without beating around the bush too much, I kind of wanted to just show you what I have, what's going on with them. This is, for all intents and purposes, sample size of 1, being that I've purchased 1 pair of these. It may or may not be out of the norm. I do think that it is potentially the norm, because as I went rooting around looking for potential answers, I did end up finding some other people that had very similar issues. So this is the boot here, and I'll talk just briefly about the boot. It is comfortable. I am fairly sure-footed, so to me, a lot of people had complained that these were particularly slippery. Was not my experience. I felt like I could walk around the river just fine. I felt like I didn't really have any issues. They were comfortable. They fit the correct way with my wader booties on, even if I wore wool socks underneath it just for perspiration and things like that. They lace up good. They hold their knots. I mean, there's not a lot to say. Everything held up somewhat decent until you get to this boot. And this is what I got going on here. Now, you're getting a pretty good amount of separation there. Now, I will say, is that fixable? Absolutely. Can I clean that out with a toothbrush and some soapy water, let it dry, put shoe goo in there, and it probably be totally fine? Absolutely. No doubt about that. But this boot is, I would venture to say, and I'm waiting on my receipt from my local fly fishing shop, I think 3 months old at the most, and I think it's more like 2 or 2.5 months old. And that's not what I would consider acceptable. Again, sample size of 1. This is 1 pair of boots. This is really my first reference for wading boots to go off of. So do I 100% think they're all this way? No. So contacted my local shop, said, hey, do these have any kind of warranty? He said, I think they have 1 year. I went on Toggs' website, went to just hit submit warranty on their AI chat. And what it looked like is if you bought the boots from them, you were automatically registered for a warranty. It looks like they do have maybe a 60-day warranty, which honestly I think's kind of lame, but they're not overly expensive boots. I did pay $130. I bought them local. Maybe you can find them cheaper on Amazon or something like that. I like to buy local any chance that I can, especially I like that my local fly fishing shop owner is there, and if I can keep him in business and I have to pay a few bucks more, it is what it is. Back to the boot. Can it be fixed? Sure. Should I have to at 2 or 3 months old? I don't think so. Would I buy them again purely based off of this? To me, I think that really is going to depend on how the warranty process goes. If they tell me, hey, you're outside of 30 days or 60 days, kick rocks, then I probably wouldn't gamble my hard-earned money on these again. I would maybe try a different brand or try a potentially a little bit nicer pair. But at $130, I mean, I know nowadays, I guess that seems cheap for a pair of shoes in general, but I mean, $130, it's not nothing for what you think is gonna at least hopefully be a season at this point. I mean, I'm not rough on my gear. I have a hat that's 22 years old. So, you know, getting in and out of water pretty gingerly doesn't put a lot of stress on boots. You know, I'm not getting snagged up on sticks and rocks and things like that that are causing, you know, I'm not yanking my foot out of stuff and, you know, trudging through knee-deep mud and stuff. And honestly, even if you were, I feel like for 2 or 3 months, they should probably just be doing a little bit better than this. So I have to wait until tomorrow now. It's the 25th of August, 2026. I have to wait until tomorrow to get my proof of purchase from my fly shop so that I can submit the warranty claim form, because they said if I did it without my proof of purchase, you get 35% of the purchase price back towards an in-store credit, which is basically nothing. So I don't love that. So I'm just going to wait until tomorrow for my receipt. I am going to submit a warranty claim. I'll keep you updated on what comes of it. But if you are new to fly fishing, if you are an experienced fly fisher, or if you are looking at this boot and brand, and again, please know, I'm not hating on them. I haven't had any communication with them. I don't know how they're going to handle it. They may say, hey, we think that's unacceptable too. Here's a new pair of boots. That's totally fine response. But for 2 or 3 months, if that's not the case, then I feel a little bit of injustice towards the situation, because I shouldn't really, I don't think, come out of pocket personally for 2 or 3 months. And it's not every single day where I do fish a lot. I have fished a lot this year, but these don't have, you know, they don't have 65 days of fishing on them. And if they do, it can't be more than, you know, 4 to 8 hour sessions, or maybe even less than that sometimes. I don't have the exact kind of clock of how long I've put on them, but walking distance, I would for sure say less than 10 miles. I have a river very close to me. I really haven't even hiked in these except for, you know, maybe 400 or 500 yards a pop to get into the river. So I don't feel great about recommending these Frogg Tug Hellbenders to somebody at this particular time. If you have them, let me know. Maybe your experience has been different. I did go to their website and I did click on this product looking for the part number, which I needed for the RA. And I decided to click through the reviews, and I probably should have done that first. This is what my local shop carried, so I thought, what the heck, if they use them, that's fine. But there's several all caps lock comments, don't buy these, they're not good. I believe one guy that I read the comment was a disabled veteran. I think this exact same thing that he described, but maybe his entire sole came off on his first trip. Somebody else said they're extremely slippery. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not 100% blaming them. It's a sample size of one to me. That's the information I could gather within the last couple days of just kind of rooting around the internet to see what kind of information I could find on it. But if you're looking for something, if you bought these off of my recommendation and you have this problem, I apologize, because I didn't know any better either. You put them on, they're comfortable, they feel great. You have days and days and days and days and days of fishing where everything is great, and then something just doesn't hold up really as advertised. So I don't like to recommend things like this that end up biting me in the butt. So if I made that recommendation to somebody and these end up doing the same thing to you, apologies. I will do another update video when I let everybody know what Frogg Toggs says to me, whether it's kick rocks or whether it's, hey, we're gonna get you another pair, or at least hopefully a heavily discounted pair of replacements in some fashion would, I guess, be okay. But it is what it is. I just wanted to make this video. There's a lot of people looking for gear all the time, and I don't think if this is what they regularly put out in this price range, then I don't think it's acceptable to buy them, and I don't think it's necessarily what I would recommend. So hope that gives somebody a little bit of information if you're looking for a new product or looking for a pair of wading boots. These could be a gamble for you. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time, and Jesus loves you.